Hey there, folks. Fantasy Football Island. I'm Tito, Jeff Thidoff. Follow me on Twitter @FitHappens. The man to my left, you can't see him. Well, you can see him, but you don't know if he's on my left or right the way this is set up. So that's stupid to say that. Chad Rink @ChadOchoRinko on Twitter for him. Appreciate you joining us here today. It's we are deep into Fantasy Football Island. That sounds weird. We are deep into the fantasy football season. I'm off to a roaring start here, Rink. How are you today, my friend?
To the left.
Yes.
Yeah, I am great. How was Vegas?
Vegas was fun.
Yep.
We certainly I was telling people we didn't go Charlie Sheen style.
Okay.
Probably more Emilio Estevez style, or maybe Lou Diamond Phillips. Not quite the Charlie Sheen route, though.
I got you.
Thankfully, or I wouldn't be here. So.
Yeah.
Or maybe I would be. I don't know if Tiger Blood or not. Nonetheless, so we had a good time out there. It was a lot of fun. Won a little money, and came back definitely needing sleep.
Yes.
So, fantasy football, though. I mean, I love being out there watching all the games at one time on the screen, seeing from the betting aspect also, but just watching the fantasy football side of things. We've had a lot of injuries so far.
Yeah.
That have really, the Jayden Daniels thing, obviously the Burrow incident, and I don't know what you want to jump on first here, but there's, James Conner's out for the year now, which makes Trey Benson very attractive. Yes.
Yeah. So there's a couple things just news-wise. First one, not an injury. It's just poor Russell Wilson play.
Yes.
Jackson Dart will be starting, and they said he is starting the rest of the year, which it's kind of early to say that, but I understand he should have been starting from week 1. So deeper league pickup, right?
Yeah, I think so. Dynasty, yes, he should be drafted on a team already. But yes, I would probably say, yes, deeper league.
Yeah, I think he's got rushing upside, and he's got neighbors. So, but 10 team, if you're, just wait and see on that. But if you have a place to stash him. We are still waiting on news with Jayden Daniels with his knee. I thought I saw something where he was going to be out, but it looks like they're going to wait. It's the doctor's decision is what I just read. So Mariota still be another decent start, but concerns about him, Daniels, when he comes back because it is his knee and he runs a lot.
Yeah, and it's a thing where you got to figure in that situation, they're going to be more cautious. Just because they know it's long-term as far as the marathon, the season, the career, all that stuff. Look, we saw what happened with RG3. Yeah. And the RG3 was more self-induced on that one because he just didn't know how to fall, didn't know how to get tackled, didn't know when to slide. None of that. But nonetheless, they're going to be extra careful with this. And it's not like Mariota's a bum who can't win games. We saw last week he can win games. So I think they'll be careful with that one. McLaurin also, though, might not play this week, which is also a huge deal, I think. But Washington would much rather lose one game than lose Daniels for a long period. So I'm not saying that you're going to lose this week, but just that's the risk I think you would really take. Wait and see more on Sunday. But as we're recording this here, we're doing this on a Thursday afternoon. No word yet. But he's going to try to give it a go in practice, see what he can do, and then make a decision probably later on, probably on Friday, if he's going to go or not.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're a Daniels owner, I'm sure you already have your backup plan from last week. So I would go that way because I doubt they play him. Speaking of injured quarterbacks, we got Fields concussion protocol. It sounds like it is trending that he could play Monday. If not, Taylor will take the reign again. So here's my question for you about the Jets quarterback.
Your camera fell there, buddy.
Yeah, did it?
Yeah. We'll start over. We tell Tim, back up your monitor just a little bit. Push it back a little bit. A little more. That's better. Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, we'll start off again here. Go ahead and start with Justin Fields, and go ahead.
All right, so Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor. We'll talk about another quarterback injury with Fields. Sounds like he's trending to play Monday. His concussion protocol is going well. But here's my question about that tandem. They're at Miami this week. Mm-hmm. Miami's defense is not good.
Right.
Here's their next 5, including this week. At Miami, Dallas at home, Denver at home, which will be the tough one, and then they're Carolina at home, at Cincinnati. That's a good 5-game stretch.
That really is.
Yeah, you got Miami, Dallas, and Cincinnati defenses. And then playoff schedule, you're at Jacksonville, at New Orleans, and then home against New England in week 17. So not a murderer's row of defense. So Fields, Taylor, I think if you are going to make a move for Fields or you have Fields, I think you need to get Taylor just in case something happens. But Justin Fields could put up some big numbers here in the next few weeks and during the playoffs.
It's a critical time in the career of Justin Fields right now. I don't know if you remember the show News Radio?
Oh, yeah, I love that show.
News Radio. Catherine, the African-American one, I can't remember her name is in real life. Okay, anyway, one time she had to call in sick and was off the air. And so just as a joke, Phil Hartman, Bill McNeil was a character, said, let's put Joe Rogan on there. He put Joe Rogan on. And Joe Rogan with the super of the place, he went and killed it.
Yes.
And so Catherine comes back in and she sounds fine. And then Bill McNeil's like, wait, I thought you were really sick. I said, I am. I'm dying. I'm not going to let that guy, though, take my job. So she was really sick, faked it to get through because she didn't want to lose her job. Do what Wally pipped.
Right.
And I'm not saying that's going to happen with Justin Fields, but I got to believe part of that is going to drive Justin Fields to get back sooner rather than later, especially look at that schedule.
Exactly. I mean, Taylor is a good he could be a solid quarterback, I think, to play throughout.
Yeah.
He doesn't give you the rushing upside. But, yeah, I think Fields is going to come back. And it was, again, not that concussions are not serious,
right?
But once you get through the concussion protocol, my son, who just graduated last year, he had a pretty major concussion, got through it. It took him about a month and a half really to get back feeling okay. But once you're back, as long as you're not hitting your head again, it's not coming back from a knee injury. And it was Candy Alexander was the
Candy Alexander with the K, Candy with the K, K-H-A-N-D-I, Candy Alexander. So that's right.
The Fields Taylor could be interesting. Just for matchups. And then the last bit of news before we get into the Game Show Thursday edition. Trey Benson, if you drafted him, you are pretty happy now.
Yes.
Not that Connor got hurt, but he's going to be the guy there.
Yeah.
And he got, I think he caught all 6 of his targets last week. They played a night. I think he could have I'm telling you, 6 to 8 targets, I think, again, tonight against the Seattle defense. So here's with Trey Benson. This week, are you starting him over Chase Brown? Which is a weird one because Benson plays tonight. Brown is Monday night. Brown against Denver defense.
I'm starting Benson.
Okay. Trey Benson against Ashton Genty and the Bears.
Benson there too.
Okay.
I'll start Benson.
I think I would start Genty because the Bears defense is
not
so bad.
Good. Yes.
Alvin Kamara, Trey Benson.
Benson.
Okay. Yep. Me too. And then
Benson,
Scataboo or Scataboo.
Scataboo. And they've got, who do the Giants have?
They are playing.
It's a great question, isn't it?
It is.
The Giants.
They're playing somebody.
That's a good call by you. I will tell you they're playing. The Giants are playing, as soon as I can get called up here. But look, the fact that Tyrod Trace is out like 4 weeks now.
Yes.
And so the Scataboo's looked good.
Yeah.
Lately he has. He's looked good in the time that he's been out there. The Chargers host Chargers at the Giants. That's what it is. Yeah. With Jackson Dart as the rookie in there.
Yeah.
And so I think because of that, I think I would go with Benson there too. Yeah. As much like Scataboo, I think I would go Benson there.
Yeah, I think
I can't believe
the only one I think I would start over Benson, and just because of the matchup. I think Gentry could go for 100.
I feel
on 2 plays.
I feel weird because I did not know I was this much in love with Trey Benson. But a couple weeks ago, I did recommend picking. I did grab him in a couple of leagues. I did pick him up, just thinking that James Conner can't go on like this.
Right.
His heart will go on, but his legs aren't. And so I think that I think I'd go Benson. I think Benson can be great the rest of the year. I think James Conner has he will never have another like great season.
No.
This is it.
I did see somebody, a fantasy guy, tweeted out that don't drop Conner. Make sure you just put him in your IR spot and keep him there because he's a good locker room guy.
Oh, that's good. You're right. You
for your fantasy team. So I thought that was pretty funny.
That's great.
I can't remember who it was that did that, but it's funny. Before we get into the game show, are you concerned about the Bengals offense after that performance Sunday?
A lot of things went wrong on Sunday in a very short period of time that didn't have anything to do with the offense.
Right.
It had to do with just turnovers, but not all with Jake Browning's fault.
Right.
I think that the next couple of weeks are going to say a lot about the Bengals. I'm still, even though I just said I was going to start Trey Benson over Chase Brown, I still am okay with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I don't know long term. I guess short term IR. I'm okay with the Bengals offense. Long term IR though, I don't know about that. I can't make a call on that yet. But I'm not. And a lot of people are really concerned about it. Like
they are.
Look, you're not cutting Jamar Chase or T. Higgins. You're not cutting Chase Brown.
No.
But are you concerned?
I'm not yet because Browning's been in this offense before. They've got talented players. Chase Brown's biggest issue is the offensive line, but you got like that Bengals game. They were down 17-3 at the 2-minute warning. on the Vikings 36. So if worst case scenario, besides what actually happened,
right,
the next worst case scenario, they miss a field goal or something.
Yeah.
They fumbled on the next play. They got returned for a touchdown. The third play in the next drive, they fumbled, which led to a touchdown. That was at 1:31. So they fumbled the ball within like 15 seconds of play. And then they fumbled on the very next play after that touchdown, which led to a field goal. So they went from 17-3 to 30. I think it was 34-3 in 2 minutes. And that just kind of threw the whole thing off. Denver's tough, but I'm going to give the Bengals a couple weeks to see if they can't find what's going on. Then I would see. I mean, I would try to get, if you want to get Chase Brown buy low, T. Higgins buy low. I don't think you're going to get Jamar.
No, you won't get
low.
Chase. No. And my any trepidation I have about the Bengals offense this week is more about their matchup than what happened last week. I got to tell one too, though. We don't have our normal cameras on. You might look at Chad right now and think he's a doctor with a white coat on. That is a quarter zip FanStream Sports. It looks very much like, just when you look at the normal angle there, it looks like a doctor's coat over your shirt. And so maybe that's something we got to lean into that. Maybe you're the doctor. Maybe you're Dr. Fantasy.
Dr. Fantasy.
Yeah, maybe that's what you are. Dr. Rink over here on Fantasy Football. So you got a master's.
Exactly. Dr. Feelgood.
He's Chad Rink. He's MD, PhD, and BAD. All right, where do we go next?
Hey, so I was going to try to do something last week and our cameras messed up and do a game show Wednesday.
Right.
Things happened yesterday, couldn't happen. So we're going to do Game Show Wednesday, Thursday edition.
Perfect.
It's going to be called Real or Fake. So a lot of guys play this for different reasons.
With their wives.
That, or if they're at the bar, they're single.
Yes.
So ours is going to be Real or Fake. So I'm going to go position by position, give you a player where their ranking is, fantasy ranking by position, and see, is it real?
Okay.
Or is it fake?
So you're going to give me their actual ranking.
Yes.
And I've got to say if I believe it's going to, if it's legit or if it's going to fall off or go up.
3 weeks in.
Okay. 3 weeks in.
We got a little sample. Is this going to continue out? So real or fake, Danny Dimes is the QB4. Is Danny Dimes a top 10 quarterback, do you think?
I think he will be a top 10 quarterback this year. Yes. He will be lower than QB4, but yes, I think he will be no higher than 8 and no lower than 11, which means I think he's leaning towards top 10. Yes.
You know, I think I thought it was going to be fake, but their schedule is I think this week is their first week. They really got a tough game, but their schedule in that division is pretty easy. He's got that rushing upside. I think he's already got like 4 or 5 rushing touchdowns. So I think I'm with you. I think he's low end top 10 QB1. So I think I'm going to say Danny Dimes is real. He's given us enough in the past where he's shown some stuff. So I'm with you. It was a fake, but now I'm going to say they're real. They're not spectacular.
Not spectacular. It was real. There are certain players that people do knee-jerk reactions to after week 1 or week 2 and like, hey, just calm down, tap the brakes. I was wrong on saying calm, because now I wish I had Daniel Jones on one of my leagues. I've got quarterback. I've got Trevor Lawrence and who's the other one? I got another scrub. I got Penix. No, I got Penix, and then it's the one we start 2 quarterbacks in, and I've got Jalen Hurts, which is fine. But my number 2 quarterback, I wish I could have as a starter, Daniel Jones.
Yes. All right, Caleb Williams, QB5, real or fake?
I'm going to go fake on this one. I think he will be around the 11 to 15 range when it's all said and done. If you just look at halves of football, he has had more bad halves than good halves so far. And although I think he's better than he was last year, I still don't think he's better. I still don't think he gets into the top 10.
I don't either, because you can't count playing against Dallas' defense.
Yeah.
And if you I looked at it because he's got a week 5 bye. So early, you and I both like to then trade for guys with early bye weeks. The Bears schedule is rough this year.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule.
So I think it's fake. He is going to be outside the top 10. Aaron Rodgers is QB 12. Your Steelers, Aaron Rodgers. Is that real or fake?
I think he's going to finish ranked lower than that, meaning like 13, 14, somewhere in the teens. The Steelers offense just looks bad. Look, they can't protect him.
Right.
Broderick Jones, the offensive tackle, who got called out by Bradshaw Roethlisberger called him out.
Yes.
And he's been bad. And so I don't see how it can be anything. unless they find a way to fix that offensive line through a trade, or if somebody gets better that pops up, he's going to have a hard time completing enough passes to really make an impact, I think, on that. It'll be a lot of short passes. You hope turn into long gains. You're going to rely on the running game and things like that. But I think he ends up in the teens.
I gotcha. So then we're going to take these next three are outside. I know how we're going to do on one. You got Dak Prescott as QB 18, Bo Nix QB 20, Trevor Lawrence QB 23. Do any of these guys make it into the top 10, top 12, or are these all real? They're outside the top 15 quarterbacks.
Dak does. Dak gets into the top 10, I think. And as long as Lamb's only out 3 or 4 weeks, but because Pickens is a great number 2 receiver, not a great number 1 receiver for that team. So as long as CeeDee Lamb gets back relatively soon and they don't punt on the season, which I don't think they would anyway, but as long as they can tread water a little bit until CD gets back, Jake Ferguson thing's been huge. I almost called him was Jesse Ferguson a boxer? Because I don't thinking of. I think I almost said Jesse Ferguson. Jesse the Truth Ferguson was a boxer.
The Body Ferguson.
It was Jesse the Truth that's Jesse Ventura.
Oh, that's right.
Now it's turned into a rest home episode. I remember that guy, Rocky Marciano. But Jake Ferguson is going to be a good weapon for them. I love him as pickup for a tight end if you need to get somebody. If you've been disappointed by your tight ends like I have been, Ferguson's a great pickup there. But I think Prescott gets in the top 10. I don't think Nix or Lawrence end up top 15.
I think Nix and Lawrence probably end up where they are at 2023.
Yeah.
All right. Running backs. So we've got 3 that we're looking at. Javonte Williams, RB7, Travis Etienne, RB9, J.K. Dobbins, RB12. Do any of those guys stay in that RB1 range?
I think Javonte Williams does. He's looked really good.
Yeah.
He has, and I think that Dallas offense, because they're going to score a lot of points, they're going to give up a lot of points, they're going to score a lot of points. So I like him quite a bit. I'm not a big believer in Etienne and J.K. Dobbins. I think Dobbins could end up being pretty good this year. I think Dobbins probably ends up in about that range, but I think that Etienne drops back.
Yeah, I think Williams is real because with Lamb out, I think they're going to, and I think Schottenheimer loves to run the ball.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to rely on Williams a lot more because I think they realize the defense is bad. They're going to have to try to control the clock. And I think Williams can do that. Etienne, I think, is going to be out. I think Michelle Tootin is real.
Me too.
He's pretty electric. So I just don't think Etienne's going to stay where he's at unless he just happens to be a goal line guy, but they've been giving the ball to Tootin at the goal line.
They have been, yeah.
I think it's going to be a 50-50 split by the end of this year. And then Dobbins, I think, is really more touchdown dependent. Harvey hasn't looked great, but at some point, I think it's probably going to be 50-50. So I think Williams, I'm with you there. Jaylen Warren is RB14 and Josh Jacobs RB19.
I think I would swap those guys at those spots. I think that Jacobs will be fine. I know he's had a slow start, but Warren's been good because they don't trust Caleb Brown at all in that offense. Yeah. And so Caleb Johnson. See, there we go again.
Caleb the Truth Johnson.
Yes, there we go. Caleb the Body Johnson. But I think Warren slides back a little bit. I think Jacobs moves up, but Warren's going to be the guy getting – because, look, that Arthur Smith, Mike Tomlin, Steelers offense – they put a priority on protecting the football and also being smart. And if you make silly mistakes, it's going to be hard to get time back right now. And they know every game, especially after losing that game to Seattle, which they should have won, barely beating New England, even though New England had 5 turnovers, they know wins are a premium and they're not going to lose because of a foolish play or a foolish mistake by a player not being prepared.
Yep. Yeah, I think Jacobs is he's got the workload to be a top guy. Let's just hit these rookies real quick. You've got Gentry, Scataboo, Henderson, Hampton, Judkins, Krosky, Merritt, Tootin. Rest of the year, who are the top 3 of those? Who do you think the top 3 of the running backs will be for the rookies?
One of them, I think, will be a guy who I stayed away from because I wasn't sure what his situation would be, is Judkins. Judkins is all the talent in the world. He's a really good running back. But the fact he had that thing hanging over him, and I thought for sure, based on everything that had been said, that he was going to get charged and there would be a suspension and who knows what to get it, and he missed all of camp. So I stayed away from a lot of drafts, and now it looks like he'll be one of those top 3, I have to believe. Henderson's going to get the volume because Ramondre Stevenson can't hold on to the ball. And Henderson hasn't looked good so far. At least, we all thought had higher expectations for him. So I think that Henderson will be a top 3 one, and I think Scataboo will too.
Yeah, okay. If I'm doing my 3, I think Judkins will be. He just looks so much better than everybody else there on the Browns. I think Hampton will be with the Harris injury,
right?
And they want to run the ball. And I'm going to go Gentry, just I think volume alone. I think Scataboo is going to be one of those guys who will have a game like he just did, but then I can see him having another game where he's got like 13 for 20.
Yeah.
And if they can't move the ball with Dart, I think is going to take away some of his rushing. I think they're going to use a lot of RPO with Dart. So, but I kind of like all these running backs except for Krosky Merritt for the rest of the year. If you can go get these guys, I think they have a lot of upside. But I think Judkins and Hampton are probably the hardest ones you're going to end up getting.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the case. I do agree with that. Yeah.
All right, receiver wise, this is Roma Dunze, wide receiver 3.
Yeah,
he's looked good. He looks like he's the wide receiver 1. I think he ends up as a top 12 receiver.
I'm trying to think if there's been some guys that have started very slowly. Right. I think he'll be right on the brink of that. Yep. I think he'll be somewhere in the 10 to 15 range.
Yeah. And here, this is one I just threw in. We're not going to talk about it too much, but like how 1 week, the wide receiver 4 is Trey Tucker.
That's amazing. Yes, I know. Right.
Yeah. So like, it's nothing. The next 2 are interesting because you've got Quentin Johnston at wide receiver 8 and then Emeka Egbuka at wide receiver 10.
I like Egbuka more, but I like Johnston more than I did draft time. If that makes sense. Like Egbuka, I expected it to be great, and now you get Mike Evans out, and there was a concern about when Godwin comes back, that could end Egbuka. Well, it's not going to. Godwin might play this week, but Evans is gone. Yeah. So all of a sudden now it's still okay for Egbuka, and I think that his confidence has shown. He was calling for the ball for a touchdown, and he's like. So I like Egbuka quite a bit. I think Johnston's. What we're seeing now from Johnson is what we thought we would see when he first came into the league, and we're finally seeing. I think Johnson's got the talent to stay relevant. He won't be as high as he is now, but I think that I believe in both those guys.
I do too. Like Johnston, he's been touchdown dependent. I think that with that offense, it's going to be Allen, Johnston. I think Ladd will start getting the ball. It's just going to be matchup dependent. So I think all 3 are going to be viable, but I don't think any of them end up as a top 12 receiver.
I think it's fair.
Michael Pittman is wide receiver 12. I think if that offense continues to run like it is, I think he's going to be on that fringe too.
I think he is also. They've got 2 receivers that are pretty close to each other, right? Pittman and who am I thinking of the other
Downs.
one? Josh Downs. And it's almost. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not meaning they're at that level, but it's like the Harrison and Reggie Wayne or like the Isaac Bruce Toriol, where you're not sure who's going to have the big week or the better week. But I think they're both very similar, and either one could have a great week, and they could both have mediocre weeks. It's just it's hard for me to differentiate between the 2. If I had to pick one, I'd pick Pittman, but Downs is not a huge downgrade from that either.
He's not. I think Downs is going to be more of those bigger weeks for you, and Pittman's going to be more of a reception guy. So here are 4 guys that are outside the top 25. Well, Justin Jefferson's wide receiver 25, Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver 43, and had 2 horrible drops.
Bad.
Drake London, wide receiver 44, Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver 53. Do any of these guys crack the top 12 by end of the year?
You see, that's because those guys, those numbers are not. Harrison's drops are a concern, but the overall rankings where they're at is based more on poor quarterback play.
Yes.
If you look at Trevor Lawrence has been awful. I love Brian Thomas Jr. I love him.
He's had, and I don't know if it was with week 3. He's had 19 targets with 5 receptions. And he looked like when he played the Bengals, did not want to catch it. And I don't know if Trevor Lawrence hates him.
I don't know. Yeah, that's but because it's not like the looks are going to Travis Hunter. Hunter's not getting any targets, and so I think Thomas Jr.'s chance to rebound. The Minnesota thing with Justin Jefferson. Jefferson showed throughout the first couple of years of his career here that he is quarterback proof, but I think the fact, it's McCarthy being quarterback will not help Justin Jefferson's numbers.
No.
You know what I mean? Wentz will.
Yeah.
I think Wentz is the better option. I think that if Wentz keeps playing quarterback, if he does well, if they slowly bring McCarthy back, then I think that helps Justin Jefferson's numbers. He just seems too damn good to not be in the top 12.
Yeah. I mean, I think that game got out of hand too because I think he had 7 for 75.
Right.
So that game stays close.
Yeah.
They'll throw the ball. I think Jefferson is the one I think that I would bet on. Drake London, I think, needs Kirk Cousins. in his life.
I think he does too. The Penix and Bo Nix both, with how good they looked at the end of last year and how they're playing now. It's amazing a sophomore slump like that, because not many quarterbacks do that anymore. Usually it's a freshman slump.
Yes.
Not very, but I mean, and Lawrence has had a sophomore, junior, and senior slump, but it's most of these guys, though, if they have a good first year like that, a good end of the year, it usually doesn't carry over like this poorly in the second year.
Unless you're CJ Stroud.
Right. So
okay. Tight end, I just want to talk on a couple of them. Dalton Kincaid is the tight end 6.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he is a big part of that offense, especially because they don't really have a true alpha wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
So I like Dalton Kincaid. He might still be available out there if you're wanting a guy. And then Harold Fannin is still the tight end 12. He's so athletic. But I think with Njoku still there, I don't know what this team's going to end up doing at some point, going to Sanders. So I don't know if I'm buying in on Fannin. If you have him, I guess great already, but I wouldn't go target him.
No, I'm not. The only offensive Browns player I want is Judkins.
Exactly.
And maybe I'll take an offensive tackle over somebody else. But because there's no skill players I want on that team because of the inconsistency.
Yes.
And Fannin, yes, it was a lightning in a bottle kind of thing, but fan sanity is going to end here now. I don't think it's going to be something that carries over. I don't think it's something going to carry over.
So that was it. That was real or fake. We didn't really talk real or fake, but you got the concept of
it. Play the home game if you'd like to. Let us know. You can find me on Twitter at That Happens. He is Chad Ocho Rinko on Twitter. Go to the Fantasy Sports app. Download that as well. It's free for Apple and Android users. All kinds of great programming around the clock we have. You get it right there at your fingertips. Also, fanstreamsports.com. New sites up and running. Lots of great bells and whistles on that one. Go to the FanStream Sports Facebook page. Interact with some of the hosts and also Tim Ham, who is one of our grand poobahs here, who will edit everything that we do. But hopefully you're doing well in fantasy football. Again, the key, I don't care how bad your team is, what your record is, set a lineup, set a legal lineup, play the season out, don't quit. And email us, text us any questions. I guess I shouldn't say email. Don't give your email addresses. But find us on Twitter if you want and send us any questions. We're glad to help you out. Hope you have a great week in fantasy football. Chad, have a wonderful weekend.
You too. See you.